Hello, everyone. Welcome to this talk on a case study of how Yahoo Japan uses and contributes to Screwdriver at scale. I am Jithin Emmanuel. I'm with Verizon Media, and I have with me Hiroki from Yahoo Japan, who is going to be driving rest of the talk. So, a quick intro about myself. I've been with Verizon Media for over 12 years. I am an engineering manager. I am also the product owner for Screwdriver.cd. And this is a brief agenda for today. We'll have a quick intro on Screwdriver. Then Hiroki is going to drive the rest of the talk on how Yahoo Japan is using Screwdriver. Uh, Speaking about Screwdriver, it is an open source platform which is built for continuous delivery. And Screwdriver is an incubation project with the Continuous Delivery Foundation. Now, this diagram is a quick overall architecture on how the various components of Screwdriver works. So Screwdriver ties in with a developer's daily habits, which is write code, test it, build it, and deploy it. So we have integration with various source control management systems like GitHub, GitLab, and developer writes code, checks it into your SCM, then Screwdriver kinds of takes up rest of the flow. If it's a pull request, we start the pull request flow. And all of these configurations can be configured with a YAML format, which you check in with your source code. At its core, Screwdriver provides powerful workflow features, which lets developers manage their entire build lifecycle. And all the builds are containerized, and that can be run on Docker directly or as Kubernetes pods. Without further ado, handing over to Hiroki for driving rest of the talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Jithin. Hello, everyone. I'm Hiroki Takatsuka, an engineering manager at Yahoo Japan. I also contribute to Screwdriver.cd. I love VR, science fiction, video games, and cats. And here's my cat, Aru. And I'd like to introduce about Yahoo Japan. Yahoo Japan is a famous Japanese web portal. We provide over 100 web services, and I like the weather service and the transit information service. There are about 7,700 employees. It includes over 3,300 engineers and designers. Then, I'd like to talk about how we're using Screwdriver. Our Screwdriver works together with various platforms in Yahoo Japan. We use some repository platform like Artifactory and compute platform like K8 and Pivotal Application Service. When we publish or deploy something, we use Ascent for authentication and authorization. We also use SonarQube and the SCA2 for code analysis. This slide shows an usage of our Screwdriver. This data are in September 8, 2020. Our Screwdriver has been released in Yahoo Japan since September 2017. So, our Screwdriver is 3 years old. Then, I'll share 2 use cases of our Screwdriver. The first one is deploy Screwdriver with Screwdriver. Docker images are built in other pipelines to customize. And we use Customize to manage K8's manifests. And we use kubesec to manage K8 secrets. In addition, we compare DB schema with open source Screwdriver and run kube control diff in a predicate job. We are planning to release through blue-green deployment. The second use case is distributing mobile app internally. We use FastLane in SD template. With the template, users upload to the internal app distribution system after breeze and test jobs are passed. All jobs are done by using executor Jenkins. Then users install the apps via QR code for testing. Next, I'd like to introduce our team and its responsibilities to provide Screwdriver for users. Our SRE team has 8 members. They do operation, take charge of on-call, application monitoring, and having SLI and SLO. Our CRA team has 5 members. They do user support, provide user guides, and do integrations with other internal platforms. And both teams develop Screwdriver as an open source contribution. Then I will talk about this domain. This slide shows the overall architecture of our Screwdriver. Currently, we use one K8 cluster for Screwdriver. The cluster is managed by CAS team. In the cluster, there are Screwdriver components, Redis cluster as a base queue, and SonarQube for static code analysis. Outside of the cluster, we use internal S3 compatible storage as an artifact store and internal MySQL cluster as a data store. And we have a Jenkins cluster for iOS builds. These are managed by other teams. Here is the build cluster spec. The Kubernetes cluster consists of 20 Ubuntu workers for executor K8s and 5 CentOS workers for executor K8 VM. A worker has 64-core CPU and 512 GB RAM. The Jenkins cluster has 53 agents. It consists of a Mac Pro and a Mac Mini. Each agent has one executor. Next, I'd like to explain about our logging, monitoring, and alerting. We are using these tools in our operations. Splunk is used for log collection and monitoring our SLI and SLO. Prometheus and Grafana are used for collecting and visualizing metrics of our Kubernetes cluster. Alert Manager and PagerDuty is used for alerting. They notify incidents to on-call via Slack, email, and phone. This screenshot is our monitoring dashboard. The top left area shows build stats that includes the number of builds per day and the number of current running and pending pods. The top right area shows the K8 node status and the pod status of Screwdriver components. The middle area shows Screwdriver's API stat, like a rate of response time less than 1 second, and an increasing rate of bad status code. The bottom area shows K8 cluster usage. We have experimental SLO called QTime. QTime is defined as the time between create time and start time of builds. SLO is a day in which the average queue time is over 30 seconds, shouldn't be over 5 days in last 30 days. I know it's not good SLO because it's counted by the days. But visualization is meaningful for us. We can see the improvement about queue time like the left graph. We are also tracking percentile of the queue time like the left graph. The longest dark blue bar is 99 percentile. It may indicate a part of users uses some big data images. Next, I'll talk about topics of CRE domain. In this slide, I will explain about what kind of user support are we doing. First, we receive user inquiries via an ticketing system. Second, we provide user announcement and emergency support on the Slack channel. Third, we provide a GitHub repository for taking user requests as GitHub issues. Finally, we provide internal documents. I'll talk about more details about the document in the next slide. We provide an internal document besides localizing the official guide, called Mastering Screwdriver. The title and cover are homage of the Japanese famous book. This includes step-by-step basic tutorials, advanced configurations, and how to integrate with other platforms. Of course, it hasn't been published. There are two customizations of Screwdriver provided to the users. First, we are providing trusted SD templates and commands. These are provided by each language or platform teams. For example, Java team, Go team, Docker registry team, and Cat team. Second, we provide assets and SCA integration with backend. All that users need is to add configurations. It enables to file builds if there were any vulnerability. Next, I'd like to talk about how we collaborating and contributing open source Screwdriver. It can be said how Yahoo Japan developing Screwdriver. Before we start open source collaboration, the collaboration of Verizon Media and Yahoo Japan has been started since 2013. It was for internal version of Screwdriver and other developer tools. We collaborated through bi-weekly meeting and exchange on business trip. Then, Yahoo Japan has started contributions for open source Screwdriver since February 2017. There are three kinds of contributions as our contributions. First, we create GitHub issues. It derives from our user requests or our operational issues. Second, we implement some features and fix some bugs. It's usually based on our own issues, but sometimes not. Third, We localize the official guide. We translate the official guide to Japanese periodically. These are the number of created pull requests and issues from us for 3 years. And this graph shows the transitions. We can see we've been contributing constantly since 2017. And we've done about quarter or 1/5 contributions. And our remarkable contributed features are including metadata, branch and tag and release filtering, and local build feature. In conclusion, Yahoo Japan is using Screwdriver.cd for 3 years. And Screwdriver is a core component for Yahoo Japan's development. Yahoo Japan not just uses Screwdriver, but also contributes constantly. That's all. Thank you for your kind attention.